Okay, so today we're diving into something pretty big. It's OpenAI's ChatGPT Canvas update. And, there's been a lot of buzz about it, and for good reason. This isn't just like a little update or a fresh coat of paint on ChatGPT. It's like ChatGPT got a brain upgrade and a personal assistant all in one.
Yeah, it's a pretty big deal.
It is
It really is a game changer in how we interact with AI.
huge for anyone who writes codes or basically just uses a computer. So let's break it down. Remember the old ChatGPT interface? Gone. Now imagine your prompts and ChatGPT's responses side by side in this dynamic workspace.
It's all about having this seamless interaction,
Yeah.
being able to manipulate text and code right there in the flow of your thoughts.
I like that in the flow.
And what's really interesting is the context awareness that Canvas brings to the table. It's not just processing your commands in isolation. It understands the task you're tackling, which makes it way smarter and more helpful.
So it's like it's actually reading and understanding my work, not just, spitting out words.
Exactly. It can analyze your writing, figure out your intended audience, even suggest relevant subtopics you might have missed, all because it gets the bigger picture.
That's incredible. So how does this actually work in practice? Like, what does this look like for someone using Canvas?
Okay, so imagine this. You're writing in Canvas, and you want to make a paragraph sound more formal. Instead of rewriting it yourself, you just highlight it and tell Canvas, make this sound more professional.
Oh,
And boom, Canvas adjusts the language and sentence structure to match exactly what you're going for.
so it's like having a super-powered editor right there with you. And what about for coding?
Oh yeah,
I hear Canvas is a game changer for developers too.
it's huge for developers. One of the most mind-blowing features is the automatic code revision. And I'm not just talking about finding syntax errors. Canvas can actually analyze your code for efficiency, readability, and even suggest improvements.
Okay, so how is that different from, say, a traditional code analysis tool? Those have been around for a while.
Right. You've
Right.
got a point there. Code analysis tools have been around, but Canvas, it's a whole new level. Traditional tools might flag an issue or suggest a different syntax. Canvas, though, understands the purpose of your code
Oh, wow.
and suggests solutions that align with your goals. For instance, it might suggest a more efficient algorithm or design pattern that just makes your code better overall.
So it's not just about fixing errors, it's about making the code itself better.
Absolutely. And it doesn't stop there. Canvas is also amazing at code porting, seamlessly translating your code from one programming language to another.
Okay?
Let's say you've written a Python script and you need it in Java. Canvas can handle that for you, saving you tons of time on manual translation and debugging.
That's wild. I can see how this would be huge for developers working on those big projects with multiple languages, streamlines the entire workflow.
Exactly. And you know what's really cool? As powerful as Canvas is, it's designed to be user-friendly.
Oh, good.
You don't need to be a coding whiz to use it.
So even someone who's just starting to learn to code can benefit from Canvas.
Absolutely. It's actually an incredible learning tool. Imagine having AI that not only helps you write code, but explains why it's making certain suggestions.
Well, that's interesting.
That's the beauty of Canvas. It's powerful, yet accessible.
Wow, it sounds like OpenAI is really pushing the limits here. Now, we've talked about writing and coding, but I'm really curious about how this all works in a collaborative setting.
That's where Canvas really shines. Collaboration. Imagine you're working with a team and everyone can access and edit the same document, or even code base at the same time. You can see each other's changes in real time, offer suggestions, even revert back to earlier versions if you need to.
It's like Google Docs, but with AI superpowers.
Yeah, exactly. And it goes even further by actually integrating the AI as an active collaborator.
Yep.
Say your team is stuck on a really tough coding problem. You can actually bring Canvas into the mix, present your ideas, and get real-time feedback and suggestions from the AI.
So it's like having another teammate who just happens to be a super intelligent AI. That's pretty wild.
It is, and what's even more impressive is how Canvas handles version control. They've all been there, right?
Yeah.
With collaborative projects where it's a pain to keep track of changes and go back to older versions, Canvas just streamlines that whole process. It makes it so much easier to manage different versions, compare edits, and make sure everyone's on the same page, literally.
That's a lifesaver, especially for those bigger projects. Now, you mentioned that Canvas is currently available for ChatGPT Plus and team users.
Yeah.
What about everyone else? Any plans to roll it out more broadly?
Absolutely. They've been very open about their rollout plan. The idea is to gradually expand access to businesses, educators, and eventually all ChatGPT users.
That's great to hear. It sounds like they're really committed to making this technology accessible to everyone, not just a select few.
Mm.
But I'm curious, with all this talk about AI becoming more and more powerful, people are going to start wondering, is Canvas always watching? Will it try to jump in even when I'm just, jotting down a grocery list?
It's a fair question for sure. But from what we've seen so far, Canvas is designed to be unobtrusive. It's not constantly looking over your shoulder, analyzing every keystroke. It's more about strategic activation.
So it knows when to chime in and when to lay low.
Exactly. Think of it like this. If you're asking ChatGPT for a simple definition or a quick translation, Canvas probably won't even bat an eye. But
Hmm.
if you're working on a complex writing assignment or debugging a tricky piece of code or collaborating on a big project with your team, that's when Canvas kicks into high gear and really shows what it can do.
Gotcha. So it's like having a really smart assistant who knows when to offer help and when to give you some space. Now, we've talked a lot about what Canvas can do, but I'm curious about the technology behind it. We know it's powered by GPT-4, but what makes Canvas so different?
That's a great question.
Hmm.
So while Canvas is built on the foundation of GPT-4, it incorporates some pretty significant advancements. OpenAI calls them upgrades, and they translate to a 30% boost in accuracy and a 16% improvement in overall quality compared to the standard GPT-4 model.
Okay, so it's not just hype. There are real, tangible improvements under the hood.
Oh, absolutely. These upgrades aren't just about making the AI faster or more efficient. They represent fundamental advancements in natural language processing and code generation.
Hmm.
For example, Canvas has these new algorithms for understanding and responding to really complex prompts, as well as generating more human-like text and code.
So for the average user, how do those technical improvements actually translate into a better experience?
Well, for one thing, you'll notice a big difference in the accuracy and relevance of Canvas's responses. It's way less likely to misunderstand what you're asking or give you information that's totally off base.
So fewer of those hallucinations that early AI models were prone to.
Yeah, exactly. Canvas is much better at staying on topic and giving you accurate information, even when you're dealing with complex or nuanced subjects. And you'll also notice that the text and code generated by Canvas are just way better quality. The writing is more fluid and engaging, and the code is cleaner, more efficient, and less buggy overall.
That's really impressive. It sounds like OpenAI has really hit it out of the park with Canvas. But even beyond the technical stuff, what excites you most about this update?
Honestly, it's the potential impact on how humans and AI can work together. We're moving past this idea of AI as just a simple tool and into this whole new era where AI is like a thought partner. Imagine brainstorming ideas with an AI, getting instant feedback on your work, or even co-creating entire projects with AI by your side.
It's like having an AI collaborator who's always there, always learning, and always pushing you to do your best work.
It really is. It's like this huge shift. We're not just using AI to, automate tasks anymore. We're actually bringing AI into the creative process, letting it enhance our abilities and push us in new and exciting directions.
It's like that saying, two heads are better than one. But in this case, it's one human head and one crazy powerful AI. And that brings up an interesting point. You mentioned how Canvas is all about enhancing what humans can do, not replacing them. So do you think this kind of collaboration will actually change how we approach work and creativity down the line?
That's the big question, isn't it? The one we'll be trying to figure out for years to come.
Mm.
But I think the key thing to remember is that AI, even something as advanced as Canvas, is still just a tool. It's up to us humans to decide how we use these tools to shape our world.
Right. It's not about man versus machine. It's about man with machine. And who knows what amazing things we can accomplish when we work together.
Exactly. And that's what makes this technology so exciting. It's not just about the tech itself, although that's pretty awesome. It's about the possibilities that this tech unlocks.
I like that. Well, this has been an awesome deep dive into the world of ChatGPT Canvas. A huge thank you to our expert for breaking it all down for us.
Happy to be here.
And to all of you listening out there, thank you for joining us on this deep dive. Be sure to check back for our next episode where we'll be exploring yet another fascinating topic in the world of AI. Until then, keep exploring and keep learning.